All right, welcome everybody. Oh, I got something going on with my audio. Hold on one second here. Oh, there we go. I had monitoring on my microphone on so I could hear myself through the headphones with a slight delay, which was really weird. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're all having a great week. We're going to do another Fusion 360 project today. If you didn't tune in last week, I changed gears a bit. I had been doing previously a bunch of assemblies with moving parts and working on hinges and all that kind of stuff. Those designs didn't have so much purpose. It was really more just a challenge to see if I was capable of making them, and I wanted to understand components in Fusion 360s and assembly, all that kind of stuff. Simulate movement. Last week I changed gears a bit, and I built a bike work stand for my bicycle. Actually, this isn't the one I built, but it was similar. I had saved it elsewhere, I guess. But at any rate, this I'm going to build out of 2x4s so I can prop my bike up there and adjust the gears and all that kind of stuff. And by bike, I mean bicycle, not motorcycle. I'm a mountain biker as well as a motorcycle rider. And I was doing a little research. First, I started learning about basic maintenance because most bike shops these days have like a 2 to 3 week wait time for repairs. So I started doing a little research and trying to figure out how to do maintenance on my own. Adjust gears, bleed brakes, true spokes, wheels with a spoke wrench, all that kind of stuff. So I'm fairly capable of doing my own repairs now. And one of the things that's challenging without a bike stand is adjusting the gears because you have to spin the cranks and see how the chain moves between the gears and adjust the derailleur accordingly. And it's really important to have a bike stand to do that so you can freely spin the cranks and have the cassette and all the components at approximately eye level so you don't have to uncomfortably hunch over and hurt your back while you're working on the stuff. I mean, I could turn the bike upside down and do it, but again, it's a little bit cumbersome. So I figure with some 2x4s and a little ingenuity, I can make myself a bike stand. Now, this isn't the one that I had made last week. This was the first one was the first sort of prototype I was playing with. But at any rate, I did finish that design. I haven't quite built it yet, but I certainly will. I'm getting a notification in YouTube that my connection is poor, which is really weird. So if this is choppy, I apologize. Maybe having some tech issues. So if it's funky, throw a comment in and I'll try and diagnose that as best as possible. But at any rate, what I want to do today is not that this is super applicable now because it stays light so late, but occasionally if I'm riding in trail systems in the evening, it may start to get a little bit dark, even if the sun's still up because of all the tree cover, it gets a little bit dark. Especially as I get into the fall, this is going to be important. So I want to make, so bicycle specific lights that are rechargeable and mount to your handlebars or helmet are very expensive. I mean, $100 for like a really good quality light. And they're amazing. I just don't want to spend the money on that. I have lots of different flashlights that are quite powerful. So I figured if I could, I have a bunch of nice little LED clicky flashlights, the little ones, pretty bright. And I have a headlamp. So I figured if I wear my headlamp, that will sort of light my path. But one of the most important things is being able to see the trail in front of you, rocks, roots, dips, all that kind of stuff. So I figured, I got the idea from fog lights from a car. So fog lights are sort of low and they light up the road in the area in front of you so you can sort of see the stuff in front of you a little bit better. So that gave me the idea of potentially mounting some cheapo flashlights to the lower part of my fork so I can sort of light my path on the trail as well as see where I'm going with the headlamp. So today, I want to design a a light mount that will attach to my fork. Should be a pretty easy project. We should go through this pretty quickly. And, unlike my usual streams, I went ahead and did all my measurements beforehand and all my angles and all that kind of thing. So, I have a new project open. I'm just going to quickly switch. So this is my bike. It's a specialized rock hopper. I have it in matte black. And one of the things you can see is the angle of the forks. They're not vertically up and down. So if I was just to make a light mount that mounted evenly, where part of it clips on the fork and then the flashlight mounts on it, it's going to be pointing up, which is not what I want. So I went to this website and I figured out the head angle, the head tube angle, which is this. And if I hover over that, you can see that it uses this plane to measure the degrees, and we know it's 68.5. So if I want my lights to be vertical, I have to make the clip and then have the flashlight mount 21 degrees lower, approximately 21 and a half would be exact, but I'm just going to do 21 lower so that it can clip onto the fork and the light can shine forwards. So that's what we're doing. I used my caliper to measure approximately around here, not all the way down, but just slightly above on the fork, and that's what we're going to go with. So let's jump into Fusion and get started on this. So last week I was working in inches because I was using 2x4s, which are in inches. I'm going to be working in millimeters today, so we're back in millimeters. So let's get a sketch going, and I think what I'm going to do first is figure out how I want the mount to attach to the fork itself, and then we'll figure out the flashlight side of it. And I don't have one in front of me, but I've got them on my microphone stand. They're basically reusable Velcro zip ties. And I figure I can use that to secure the light to the mount and the mount to the bike. And I'll probably put some neoprene or some electrical tape around the fork so I have a nice sticky, non-skid surface to work with here. So I think to start with, what I'm going to do is actually sketch the diameter of the fork, which I have the measurements on my phone here, so bear with me for a moment while I pull these up. Where are my measurements? Here we go. So the fork actually changes in diameter. It narrows towards the bottom, which is going to be a little challenging to deal with unless I put the neoprene on and it doesn't slip. There's the potential, because it gets smaller as we go down, I may need to actually taper the clip so it kind of hugs onto the fork, but we'll figure that out for the time being. So the section of the fork that I'm going to use is 37 millimeters in diameter. Okay, so this is a representation of the fork tube. If we switch back to my bike, that's the representation of the diameter of my fork tube here. So the other thing I needed to measure was actually the distance between the fork and the spokes. Because if I make the mount too wide, as the wheel spins, the spokes could rub on that. So I figured we have an offset of 13 millimeters, which is more than enough. We won't have any issue with that. So what I think I'm going to do is probably make a mount that goes halfway around the tube. And then we're going to have, maybe I'll have it wider and then taper as it comes back over here and have two little slots, rectangular slots that I can slide the Velcro zip tie. And actually, I don't know the diameter of the Velcro zip ties, so I'm just going to grab my caliper here and we'll measure them on my mic stand here and we'll see. So the Velcro zip ties are about 12 millimeters in height, so that's how large we need to make the slot. So to start with, I'm going to make a 3-point arc. I mean, the other thing I could do is I could use some circles, but I don't think we need to worry about that. So I think if... So 1, 2, 3... I think I'd like to make it 5 millimeters out at this point. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 millimeters out. We'll do the same on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll do the same over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so there is my first section. And what I think I'm going to do... Oh, wait a minute. No. Let me. Actually, I can work with this. That's fine. That'll be the outer edge. And then I'll actually... I guess I'll leave them... I'm not going to... I guess I need to leave a little bit of tolerance. I'm not going to leave any tolerance. Forget it. I'm not going to leave any tolerance because it's a half circle. It should fit fine. So I've got... 5 millimeters. You know what? Let's go back. Let me start with... 3-point arc. Okay. Wait, I think I just... Let's see. I don't want a 3-point arc slot. I want a 3-point arc. Okay. So I'm going to start by just sketching this. The truth of the matter is I don't need to because that's already there. So we want this to be 5 millimeters out, right, on either side. Here's what we'll do. You know what? Just to make this exact, I'm going to get my line tool. And bring this out 5 millimeters. I'm going to do the same over here. I like using lines to draw guides. 5 millimeters. All right, so now we have our guides here. So let's get our 3-point arc. And I can basically go from here to here. And I actually think I'm going to make this a little beefier here. So maybe I'll have it come out. That'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so now I've basically got 5, 5, and it comes out 10 there. 5 millimeters too much? Let's see. No, see, I think that's fine. Okay, cool. So that's good. Then I think what I'm going to do... Let's think about this for a minute. I think I'm going to sort of taper this section here. So let me just see this. So I've got this piece, which will fit around the fork just fine, right? But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to sketch here. And I think I'm going to, well, let's just go and edit this sketch. Edit sketch. Okay, great. So I think what I'm going to do is basically make an arc that shaves off just a millimeter of this. So that's not the tool I want. I want a 3-point arc. I'm going to basically come to here and basically to here. And I think that works. Okay, good. And we'll do the same on the other side. All right, cool. And it was 1 millimeter offset. You'll see why I'm going to do that. All right, that should be fine. It's not perfect, but I don't think it's an issue. Okay, so then I have this. Let's pull. Okay, so we know that if this is 12 millimeters, and I'm going to probably use 2 of these. 24, let's make it 40. Okay. Oh, that didn't work. That little arc didn't work properly. It's fine. It's actually fine. Okay, great. So now that's part of my mount here. Okay, so then what I'm going to do now is I think maybe we will... I have to make the slots. I don't exactly know how those are going to work, but it doesn't really matter. Actually, I have a pretty good idea. So, if that's 40... Hold on a second. Let me just do a couple of quick calculations here. I can't do the math in my head right now. So, that'll be... So I think here's what I'm going to do. With my center point, I'm going to come down 4, right? Then I'm going to come down 12. Okay. Then I'm going to come down 8. Okay. Then I'm going to come down 12. And then this last one should be 4. Yep, beautiful. Okay, so my math is correct. So now, I think what I can do is a center point rectangle. That's going to get my midpoint here. It's going to be 12 by... Let's give it 2 millimeters of space. This is for the, not S, 2. All right, there's that. And then I'll do the same thing here. Rectangle, center point, should be able to find the midpoint. It'll be 12 by 2. Okay, so now I've got these two rectangles, right? And I should be able to take these rectangles now. Finish sketch, right? And, oops. I should be able to extrude these straight through. And now my Velcro pieces can go right through there. That's very cool. It's like slotted, right? So my Velcro zip ties can go right through here and around the fork. And the idea would be I could wrap it all the way around and cinch it really tight. That's pretty cool. I'm going to go with that. All right, so we'll do the same thing over here. Sketch. We're going to use our line tool to make the guides. So we're going to come down 4. Then we're going to come down 12. Then we're going to come down 8. And then we're going to come down 12. And then we're going to come down 4. And the reason I'm doing this in segments is so I can get the midpoints of each one. So now, because I've done them in segments, I can grab my center point rectangle and find the midpoint of this line, which is going to make sure my rectangle is going to be perfectly in the right position and centered on that area. So, you know, it's probably unnecessary to draw all those extra lines, but I find it immensely helpful because... finish sketch. Because then I can use that geometry to find all the midpoints so I know that everything's lined up correctly. Cool. All right, great. So that's good to go. So that should fit around, and if I wrap some electrical tape or a little piece of neoprene, it shouldn't slide, and I should be able to really cinch down with these zip ties. Now, the next part is the design of the flashlight part of this. One of my cats is complaining because she's hungry. It's okay. She'll get fed shortly. Okay, let's see. Hopefully my stream isn't super jittery. I have super fast internet. I don't know why I'm getting a poor connection. Anyway, so the flashlight mount, first of all, needs to be mounted in this direction. So what I will probably do is offset a face this way. And I should be able to figure out what the positioning of that is. I think it's going to be, hold on a second. Should be like 23.5 millimeters. And then I need to angle it. So first things first, let's offset a plane. Right? And I think it should be... I think that's where I'm going to be sketching. Let me just see. Yeah, is that right? Yeah, that's right. Wow. Okay, cool. So then the next thing is I'll need to figure out the midpoint of this. Hopefully I can find it. Actually, hold on a second. I could probably just sketch on the top of this. And that's what I'm going to do. That's better. Right? And then I can use... That's my midpoint right there. Okay, perfect. So, I think... First of all, I don't really know the diameter of my flashlight. I'm going to go grab one of those flashlights. Sit tight for 1 sec. I got to grab one, and I can measure it. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay. Sorry about that. Here's the flashlight. Got it? So it's like a little, cheap flashlight. Pretty bright. I can measure the diameter of this. What's nice is I have a nice spot here to do so. So the diameter of this is like 27 millimeters. Okay, so what I'm going to do... let's think about this. I think what I'm going to do to start is draw a line from the midpoint 27 millimeters outward. Okay, right? So that's where the flashlight's going to be at. And maybe I'll actually make a center point rectangle. I don't know if this is going to be the right way to do this, but I'm certainly going to try. Right? It'll be 27 by, I don't know, I'm just make it like 2 millimeters for now, right? There's an air conditioner dripping onto my air conditioner, and it's very aggravating. I hope y'all can't hear that. I hope you can't. I don't think you will. All right, so if I bring this down, I made it negative 40. Right, okay, cool. So now I've got this piece here. And I think what I'm going to do now is sketch on this face a circle at the midpoint. So midpoint there, and it'll be, I said 27, right? So I didn't leave any room, but I actually don't think that matters. In fact, I'm going to come out a little bit. In fact, I'm going to grab my midpoint here and set up my... Let's do it here. Right? Because that leaves a little bit of material there. Okay, great. So that's now... All right, and I can go this way. You know what? I'm just going to leave that there. Okay, so now what I think I'm going to do is probably make like an arc that curves from this point to like the midpoint here. So we're going to sketch on this face, right? And I should be able to make a 3-point arc that starts here. I don't know why it's not grabbing that. Oh, that's not actually making contact. That's troubling. All right, so what I need to do then, I need to actually make sure that these are connected. So that's bad. I have two bodies. See, they're not connected. So if I grab this face here, this is an easy fix. And I extrude it, and then I put this body on, and I extrude it like 2 millimeters, and it's set to join. This is now one body. Okay, good. That's fine. I can work with that. Okay, so now let's sketch this, and hopefully I can get this end point. Yes, it looks like I can get that end point now. 3-point arc. Now let's just do it from there. And I'm going to come up. Okay, and basically... I'm kind of just eyeballing this, to be honest. Okay, we'll do the same here. How come that one worked? Again, just kind of eyeballing this. Okay, great. And so now we'll use these 2 points and do something like... Oh, you know what? Actually, hold on. I gotta do one other thing first. I'm doing this the wrong way. Okay, I should be done with this pretty soon, actually. Okay, now I'm gonna take my 3-point arc. and grab this point and this point. There we go. Okay, so now I should have... Oh, I need to connect those lines, of course. Let's edit the sketch. All right. And now basically I need to connect these points here. So it closes that face. Right? There we go. Okay. Why is that not letting me select? Right? Like I got this. Why can I not select? Huh. Let's do this again. Let's step back. All right. Let's try this one more time. Okay. Okay, that's good. And then we're coming to... Okay. Fine. All right, let's try this down on the bottom here. Okay. Fine. Okay, then we need our line tool. Okay, good. Then we need our line tool to here. And then our line tool to here. Okay, now maybe I need to just finish this. Okay. Let's get our 3-point arc. All right, there we go. All right, so now I can select this geometry. Okay, great. So that means... All right, so I should be able to select that and extrude that like... Oh, let me just measure one thing here. So I have like a bunch of... This is quite large, so we can make this... do like 14, right? And then the selection is so weird in this. That's not what I wanted to grab. Hold on a sec. All right. Let's shut these other sketches off. There we go. So I have this sketch, and I want to extrude this. I did 14. So let's do 16. Join. What is going on here? Okay, so then basically I need to get rid of this. That's now gone. All right, now we're in business. So the only thing I need to figure out now, right, is I need to connect the top points to the top point of this. But that should work pretty well. And then all I need to do is I need to make the slots for the straps. Okay, cool. So, I mean, I could probably just put straight lines. Honestly, I don't need this to be super fancy. So let's sketch here. I think I might just put straight lines. Right? Just like that. I'm just going to make a rectangle. Ah, there we are. Perfect. Right? I got these straight lines now. And now I can do is just extrude this and bring it down negative 30? Negative 40. Right? And then just have it join. There we go. Okay. Right? Ah, I did something wrong. Oh my goodness. Oh, I have to backtrack this. I didn't compensate for this angle. So that's really bad. Wow. That's really annoying. This is a cool design. I'm going to save it. And then I need to basically undo everything. All right. So now basically what I need to do, I need to create all right, here's what I'm going to do. I have an idea. I don't need this to be here. I'm going to basically press pull this out so it's next to nothing. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this face and I'm going to create an offset plane. I'll do offset plane. That's fine. Oh no, I need to do plane at an angle. I don't want that one. No, that's not it. All right, let's try that again. Construct, plane at an angle. If I select this, nope. Construct, plane at an angle. Can I select this top? There we go. So I basically need this. So let me just go to my reference image for a second. So it's going to be this. I need it angled down this way, negative 21.5. That's what I need because it's going to be mounted. Okay, great. So with that being said, okay. Oh, my cat's doing something crazy right now. I think I can probably eyeball this. 27. Okay. Okay. So with that being said, what I'll do then is actually press pull this. Right? So that's kind of a representation of the flashlight. Right? Just going to extrude this too. Okay. So that's kind of where the flashlight needs to be. Okay? So what that means I'm going to do now, that's too bad. All right. What I'm going to do is get my 3-point arc going on. And I guess I have to find the mid... you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some guides. We'll go midpoint straight out. Midpoint straight out. Hold on. What was that dimension? So midpoint. Where's my midpoint? There's my midpoint. straight out is 13.5. So I can come down. Okay, so there we go. Perfect. So now I can take my 3-point arc. And I can basically match this. Okay, good. Then I'm going to take my line tool and come out 3 millimeters. 3 millimeters, right? And 3 millimeters. Right? And then I'm going to get my 3-point arc tool and use my lines as a guide. A finished sketch. Okay, great. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this and this. And then I'm going to grab these. And then I'm going to extrude them like that, right? And I think I said that the dimension I need here is like at most... It's like 45. So I'm just going to make this really long for now. I'll just set it to join. And just make it as long as it needs to go. And then we'll kind of... I think what I'll do is I'll draw a line for the midpoint. And then we'll just kind of figure this out from there. Okay, great. So now... what I think I'm going to do... I know what I'm going to do. Ready? I'm going to sketch on this. Right? I'm going to grab a line. I think I said 40, so I'm going to go 20 in this direction. And then I'm going to go 20 in this direction. Right? And that's where I need this to line up to. Let's finish sketch. So now I can take this and I can extrude it. Honestly, I'm just going to eyeball this. It doesn't need to be super, super perfect. I just need to make sure the length is right. Okay, cool. I mean, that honestly just looks good enough. Okay. I mean, I shouldn't be eyeballing stuff, but honestly, this is... simple. So, okay, good. We're almost done. So now what I'm going to do is sketch on here. And I have these lines. So I should be able to grab this line. Actually, let's edit. Let's get out of here. And I'm going to edit this sketch. Right? I've got these lines here now. So I can take these lines and just come straight back to my shape. And the same thing here. Right, and just come straight back to my shape, wherever. And now I should have... Does this enclose the geometry? Of course it doesn't. Okay, so I need my 3-point arc. Let me just edit this sketch. 3-point arc. Okay. Why is this geometry not enclosed? All right, hold on a second. All right, let's just make a new sketch, and I'm just going to do this all again, because this is driving me nuts. So, that should be 40. Hold on a second. Okay. Okay, so why is that not enclosing this geometry? Because I'm sketching on the top of this object. I don't understand what the problem is here, but that's okay. All right, let's make our 3-point arc and just see if we can enclose this. This is really aggravating. I don't know why this isn't working. All right, great. So now we have this, and basically I can select this, extrude it, and then basically bring it down 40 and have it join. Oh, that's not going to work. Actually, wait a minute. All right, so 40's no good. All right, you know what? I think... All right, let me do one more thing here, and I think I might wrap this up for the day. All right, so let's sketch on this. Oh, the other thing I could do is I could sketch on this face. Hold on. Let's try this. I can sketch on this face. Right? Oh, let's do it this way. Right? So now I should have this and this. And I should be able to extrude those. Okay. And then this. I actually want to bring down -3. Okay. I mean, that's not great. Also, printing this is going to be super weird. I mean, it's definitely connected. It's just not... All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I need to figure out how to get these angles and have everything smoothed out. I don't know why this is giving me such a challenge. But I am going to go ahead and call it for today. And I'll finish this next time. So let me just save this. This turned out to be a little bit more challenging than I expected, which is fine. But I have all my measurements and I have a good idea of what I need to do. So thanks so much for tuning in. I'm gonna wrap this next time. I might actually start it over or back up and start the light mount part over because I think this fork mount piece is going to work perfectly and I really like the slots for the straps. The real thing is one of the things I might actually do is model the light mount part of this as a totally separate component. That may work a little bit better. So we may try that and see how it goes. But at any rate, thanks so much for bearing with me. This is challenging me more than I expected, but that's fine. I always love that kind of stuff. So at any rate, thank you for tuning in. If you like these videos, definitely hit the subscribe button. If you're interested in learning about CAD design, check out the DAE.com. We have tons of cool online classes. And throw a comment if you've got an idea for a project you'd like to see me do in the future in Fusion 360 or in anything else. And I appreciate you so much for tuning in. Thanks and have a great day.